Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. And gosh, the weather's beautiful today. It's going to be in the 70s. We're going to try to get some fishing in and hang out a little bit, take our mind off of some of this stuff. It's been pretty heavy week with everything going on with the bridge. In case some of you missed it, we did already cover the bridge hours after it happened. We're not trying to ignore some of these headlines, although I do defer to other channels when it comes to some of this stuff. I pick and choose what the Holy Spirit tells me to follow, and that's what I cover on this channel. And I trust his wisdom rather than my own. So we don't intentionally, try not to cover things unless the Holy Spirit directs me to cover something different. So that's where we're at with that. For those of you that are in the Facebook group, or if you were paying attention on the community tab yesterday, I uploaded this graphic on the community tab here on YouTube and the Facebook group. And what it really demonstrates in this side-by-side, it really just says it all, doesn't it? From a 2009 Fringe episode and the 2020 pandemic, all of the same elements that seem to suggest foreknowledge of events that had not happened yet. What are you looking at? Well, on your left, these are, of course, Trump's military academy photos with him at the tip of the spear, front and center in the group. And we see that we had Trump in 2020, we had the vaccines, we had the 99 red balloons, John Hopkins at Death Map. He was the tip of the spear, and he talked a lot about the swamp and draining it. That's on the left. On the right, almost an identical image. Of course, this is a subway portal, subway arch, but essentially the same thing with the same exact elements in this episode. The same exact imagery. The episode is about vaccines. There's a red balloon. The tip of the spear becomes this three-wheeled stroller as she drives through the portal, just like Trump came through the portal. And she's even singing the song, Trump, Trump, Trump. Now, I'm going to show you all this, but I'm giving you a summary of all this so you can see this 11 years before it happened in real life. We're going to break all this down today. I'm going to show you irrefutable evidence that something is not right in our reality. These people are literally scripting out events that had not happened yet. Now, that's up to you to decide why that's happening, but we're just showing you the evidence. Now, those of you who tuned in to yesterday's show, you got a sneak peek into this very profound 2009 Fringe episode. I showed you some of the trailer that I'm going to show you today. Now, what else is going on? Well, this episode that I'm going to show you actually aired within a trifecta of episodes. There were 3 episodes that all had the same themes. The themes were swamp creatures, balloons, viruses, chimeras, clowns. And so we are going to break down today the 17th episode of Fringe Season 1. 17 is, Q is the 17th letter of the alphabet. Now, what's the episode about before we hop into this? Well, it's about a man who is Gemini paired. He's literally the opposite or Gemini pair of Olivia Dunham, and they were paired from childhood. What happened? Well, they were involved in some kind of experiments that were done on children, and they were given a drug that enhanced their clairvoyant abilities. And Dunham's Gemini twin has the ability to control people's emotions remotely. And his first murder is this woman right here returning from bringing her child to the circus. But the plot here is just a cover story for a much deeper and much more sinister disclosure, which was, of course, the pandemic, the vaccines, and Trump. Let's get into this. Let's take a look. The scene opens with a spike protein chandelier. two of them in case someone missed it. Now, obviously, this is a real place. This is a real subway. But oftentimes they'll set these scenes in places that they already know has the imagery that they're looking for. And so these absolutely are spike proteins. The mother passes through this portal, pushing her daughter in a stroller, which becomes the tip of the spear. This scene is essentially this image here. Many men have passed through these portals. Now, there's a whole rabbit hole that we could go down about what this means in a military academy photo from the 1950s or 60s. But we won't go down that rabbit hole today, because men passing through these portals is human sacrifice. That's the wide gate. Now let's keep watching here.
So Nelly the elephant had to trunk.
Now she's singing this song, and when I found the song and actually heard what she was singing, I could not believe it. Now they're coming from the circus, and they disclose that later in the episode. There are 3 balloons, one red in the middle. I believe these 3 balloons represent 2 shots and a booster. The stroller is the tip of the spear.
Head of the herd was gone.
Now, why are there 2 African Americans? Well, we had just shown you that there were epidemiologists that were black that got taken out just before the pandemic began, and I still haven't gotten to the bottom of what all that means. But we all know there was huge hesitancy in the black community, right? And they were marketing to black people. Remember they even pulled out Obama and a couple other black figures to come out and tell people to go get the vaccine, because they did not want to do it, because people were still worried about what happened with the syphilis thing and how our own government was giving black people syphilis on purpose to do an experiment. Well, one of those epidemiologists that died in 2019, he was the guy who exposed the syphilis experiments. He exposed it, and then all of a sudden he's dead right before the pandemic. Homeless man, they walk by a homeless man into the subway, into the sewer, coming from the circus. Now, of course, the circus clown is on these 3 balloons, and to me, the circus clown is a clear foreshadowing of Trump. Why do I say that? Because she sings Trump, Trump, Trump. Now, you could argue that, these are the Ukraine colors, and that could have something to do with this. We do know there were biolabs over there. She's in the 42nd station. This could have to do with the number 42, the rainbow colors, the secret to the universe, and all kinds of other stuff associated with that number. But none of these numbers are by accident. Now, what else could these 3 balloons be? Well, it could be the trifecta of presidents, right? Remember I told you that each of the presidents had a part in this, starting with Obama. It actually went before Obama and happened with Bush, but Bush was busy with 9/11. But Obama was the one who basically changed the medical industry. He did it through universal health care. And I told you guys, and I shared with you guys this story of how all that went down, how Obama was the one who essentially had every doctor digitize their charts, because doctors typically had paper charts. And so Obama gave huge incentives to doctors all across the nation to digitize their paper charts. And the reason why I know this is because I was actually literally involved in the process. And doctors were getting huge payouts of $50,000 to digitize their charts. Back then, I was fast asleep. I didn't know. I was working in the pharmaceutical industry. I thought it was a great idea, right? But wrong. Why did they want people to digitize the charts? So that the government could have access to medical records in preparation for what would happen under Trump, which was the pandemic. Now, how did that all fit in? Well, you can go look back, and history will tell you that they were heavily dependent on electronic medical records to track the people track and trace all the people who had gotten the vaccine, who didn't. It's all been recorded through electronic medical records. They're also able to track the pandemic through electronic medical records that Obama put into place. People get mad at me because they think I don't pick on all the presidents. I actually do and have. We've been around a long time. And I've told this story about what Obama did probably about 20 times already. So this isn't about picking on Trump, but you have to understand that all these people work together. So they're all clowns. How do I know they're clowns? Are you ready for this? What did we see in iPet Go 2? We saw the clowns performing in front of the chalkboard, and Obama was depicted clown-like, laughing like a clown. These people are clowns. And maybe these 3 balloons represent the 3 clowns. Obama, Trump, and Biden. They're all clowns. Probably about 5 years ago, we decoded the movie Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Many of you will remember that movie. And the 2 clowns that are prominent in the film actually look like Biden and Trump. Literally. I'm going to pull that up right now so you guys can see this. This is how the spiritual world works. These are the principalities that the Bible talks about. And for some reason, God's been given us eyes to see these principalities so that this exposes them. It literally exposes them. Let's look up Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And some of the stuff seems ridiculous, but it's really not. Here are the Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Here's Trump. And here's Biden. Or this might be Biden too. Now, I don't see an Obama character. I mean, you could argue maybe this guy could be. Kind of does look like Obama, doesn't it? This guy's definitely Trump. And this guy's definitely Biden. So they already knew all this. They knew it from long ago. Now, if you still don't believe me, the clowns use straws to inject people with a syringe straw and liquefy their insides and drink it. We might re-upload this Killer Clowns from Outer Space, maybe on Sunday. The decode that we did on this about 5 years ago. Because it's all coming to fruition. So, are the 3 balloons representative of the 3 clowns? I'll let you decide. I don't really know. But what I can tell you is that the red balloon represents Trump. And each of these balloons has a clown face on it. Now, what were the 3 roles before we move on to this decode? Well, the 3 roles of the presidents, as I said, Obama was the one who did universal health care and got all the doctors to digitize their records into electronic medical records, which the government has access to, as long as they de-identify the data. In other words, as long as they remove and redact your personal information, they say that the government has the right to dig into your personal medical records, and they absolutely do it. They did it during the pandemic. And so then they passed this dumb HIPAA law, which is a privacy law, which is basically the opposite of what it really was, because it took away all your privacy when it came to the government. But then they said, oh, but you can't share this personal data with other people. So I remember being a pharmaceutical rep, and we had to have HIPAA training, Health Portability Patient Act or something. Health Information Patient Portability Act, if I can remember correctly. And we had to have HIPAA training. What was HIPAA training? Well, we were told that we weren't allowed to share any of the patient's information if we came across it, if we saw a chart laying on a counter or something like that. We were also restricted from being able to go into the back office, which we used to normally be able to do. We could just walk around in the back office, right? Well, a lot of that went away because of patient privacy, right? But then, on the other hand, they're telling us we have to be private about everyone's information, but then the government took huge steps to take away your privacy when it came to what the government knows about your personal health information. And this is when I began to tell you guys, this is about the time I began to wake up to all this and started my YouTube channel. And I remember in the infancy of the channel, I was telling you guys, the government knows way too much information about your personal medical data. And this is why I pretty much quit going to doctors. I don't want them having some record of everything that happens to me, right? Because then the government knows. And then the pandemic happened, and then everything that I said was proven correct. Now let's keep going with this. Now the reason why you see Dunham pushing her onto the tracks, it's not really Dunham doing it. Look at this creepy clown right here. Gosh, it looks like, well, I'm not going to say who that looks like, but you guys know who that looks like, right? Wow. Let's see who you guys think this looks like, and then we'll move on with this as I explain to you Dunham. Let's see if you guys are on the same wavelength that I am. Who does that look like to you? Oh my gosh. Let's see who gets the answer. Remember, these balloons could represent the 3 presidents. Let's see who's on the same wavelength that I'm on right now. Oh my gosh. There you go, Thomasina got it. That's exactly who I thought it looked like. Big Mike. There you go. A lot of you got it. So, there is such a thing as spiritual manifestation and spiritual understanding. The Holy Spirit actually helps you to understand these spiritual things. That's what the Holy Spirit is. Rhea and I did a short study on the Holy Spirit last night. We looked up all the verses that talked about it. And it's basically God coming into you and kind of speaking through you truth. And there's some harsh punishments for people who sin against the Holy Spirit. And I don't know exactly what that means, sinning against the Holy Spirit, but needless to say, it's a very serious topic, and we're not supposed to sin against the Holy Spirit. And that's not saying that everything I say is right, because I don't know that. I don't know, but I get a feeling sometimes that the Holy Spirit is speaking through me. But that's for other people to decide, right? That's for other people to decide. Now, let's keep going with this. Gosh, you guys are smart this morning. Yeah, that totally looks like that. So anyway, let's keep going. Now, this isn't actually Dunham pushing her. She's actually seeing another action of her doppelganger, of her Gemini twin brother, who they ran experiments on. She's seeing through his eyes. And he's the one that pushed her onto the tracks. Okay? Now, what does the subway represent? Well, the subway is the swamp. And this episode, as I said, exists in a trifecta of episodes. 3 episodes dealing with subterranean places where something emerged that can control the mind. A person, typically, that can control the mind. And so Dunham is seeing her twin brother's thoughts.
They put something dead inside you.
Then the scene essentially cuts directly to this little girl. And the little girl in the episode tells the whole truth about all of this and definitively connects this to warp speed and the vaccine being made, because the first thing she says is they put something dead inside me. I got my vaccine today, watch.
They put something dead inside you. Dead. Into your blood.
Now, this is the killer. And he's got an interesting tattoo. It's a tree with limbs above and roots below. Now, we've talked a little bit about trees with limbs and roots. Told you that this was the valley of the shadow of death would become the trunk. It's a portal. The only way through the narrow gate is Jesus Christ. And that there's the below and the above. This is the star spin. It's actually the magnetic field and what it looks like when you're at the equator and you look up in the night sky with time-lapse photography and stop motion and panoramic. You literally see this. And these 2 areas under the tree become like the eyes of Molech, which is basically we're seeing through a scanner darkly. We're seeing through a dark veil because we're in the fallen realm of the trees of the knowledge of good and evil. So this guy's tattoo is that, but it means other things as well. This also represents the Gemini pairing with Olivia Dunham. Remember, they were both experimented on as children. So she's the above tree and he's the below. He's the roots below, the dark side of her, right? Then we get another 47 confirmation. And I've learned when I do these decodes to never dismiss something that seems silly or arbitrary. I tend to record it at least. I may or may not put it in the montage, but I record it anyway, just in case it pops up again. But I always look for a second or third confirmation in the episode. And here we get the confirmation of the 47. It's right here on the killer's board. Watch. Now, there's all kinds of stuff going on with this board. Right there, we see the number 47. So we were correct. 47th president. There's all kinds of stuff going on with his board. There's some numbers highlighted. This looks like the number. I can't tell what that is. I think that's 301. War of the Worlds. That might say of the worlds. Building an army. There's some stuff in here about government funding for genetic projects. Without, I can't read that. Invasion, it says. Maybe a fake alien invasion. Let's keep looking at this here. Get a better still shot of it. Bizarre, to say the least. See if we could see what this number is here. That looks like 201. Whoa, like event 201, maybe. Let's see what else here we could see. See if this get a better image of that. Yeah, that pretty much says event 201 right there. Bizarre. This was in 2009, you guys. Genetically modified children. The future of the superhuman race. Look at here's the electromagnetic frequencies. This is early 5G technology, and millimeter waves came out of dishes like this. Let's keep looking here. Government secret drug trial, fund secret drug trials. Let's see what this says here. Oh, look, boom, right there, 2009. Careful about giving cell phone numbers to public to informants. New York PD spokesperson told me that New York's finance haven't received directives about dangers, cell phone tracing, swiping cell phones. Now, a lot of this is just gobbledygook, that it's filler when they do these shows. There's a person called a prop master that does all this, and my guess is many of these prop masters are in the know or are told what to do and say and put in these props. But here they're talking about cell phones, and above it is the actual millimeter waves that go through 5G technology for cell phones. The dishes. Let's keep watching here. Now, then we get to the finale of the episode. And the little girl has now become agitated after receiving her vaccination. And listen to what she says next.
I came back alive. Could that really happen?
Was all the evidence that Dunham had essentially gathered about her twin brother. So much disclosure in this trifecta of episodes, absolutely telling us the truth about what had not happened yet. And all of it was about subterranean places, virus, chimeras, frequencies, mind control in episodes 15, 16, and 17. So 15 through 17 is 5-7. 15 through 17 is 5-7. That's 5G as well. And we'll keep up on this and finish up this first season. I think there's 20 episodes in the first season. We'll finish that up. But tomorrow, I decided to break down Ghostbusters sequel called Frozen. It fits into all this as well. I'm already about 10 minutes into it, and already the entire movie opens up with 1904, the year 1904, which was the year that Aleister Crowley wrote the Book of the Law during the date of the eclipse, April 8th, 1904. And that date appears in the movie 1904, 130 years ago. I also found Fire and Ice already in the first 10 minutes, so we'll get into that as well. And I'm making a note to myself to re-upload Killer Clowns from Outer Space for Sunday's show, and I'll be in the chat with you guys on Sunday's show. And we'll do... Wait, do we want to do Killer Clowns on Sunday, or do we want to do Ghostbusters Frozen on Sunday? What do you guys want to do? Let's see what you guys want to do. Killer Clowns re-upload on Sunday, or do you want to do the Frozen decode? Frozen Ghostbusters. Yeah, it really is beyond belief, isn't it? Beyond awake. What's even more stunning is there's a lot of content on YouTube in the truth community and a lot of subscribers that go to all the other channels. Oh yeah, they're doing great work. But like when we're right over the target right now, and it's just, we're here and it's fine, but it is what it is. I have faith that God has giving the channel to people who need to see it. Let's put it that way. But there's a huge truth community on here, and most people aren't coming to this channel for some reason. So everybody sounds like they want Frozen, Ghostbusters. Okay, I'll put a note. So Frozen for Sunday, and we'll do re-upload Killer Clowns for Monday. How does that sound? Awesome. All right, let me go into the chat just for a little bit. Somewhat of a short show. All right. Thanks, Rebecca. Yeah. Elle follows our channel. She's in the chat here. She goes live usually right after our show. She's been around a long time. It's probably a good channel to check in with after the show. All right. It's because the real truth is shocking, isn't it, Allie? That's what we're dealing with. The real truth about all this, which is what we're showing you on the channel here, is almost too much for most people to bear. Oh, wait. Yeah, we got tomorrow, don't we? Thanks, Rebecca. I'm all over the place today, you guys. I'll be 51 years old tomorrow. Tomorrow's my birthday. So tomorrow we'll do Ghostbusters Frozen. And then Sunday, we'll do re-upload Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I'm like missing a day here. Absolutely. Tomorrow's Friday. So, absolutely. That's what we'll do. All right. Or, you know what? We might flip-flop those because I'm trying to take a break today. So, I'm not going to have time to finish watching Ghostbusters Frozen. So, I might do re-upload tomorrow and Ghostbusters Frozen on Sunday. Let's do that. That'll give me a little bit of a break. Thanks for the happy birthday wishes, you guys. Thanks. Yeah, Ree's gonna make me my favorite, which is lemon cake and some beef ribs. She asked me what I wanted. I said I just want to have peace in my life and happiness. That's all. And when you get to 50 and 51, you're like, that's all I need. I don't really need anything. If you want to cook for me, you can. And I love lemon cake. But I don't want anyone to stress out on my behalf. It's just a day of the year. But I've also learned to let people who love you instead of shutting them down. So I'm going to let her love me. And we're going to have some lemon cake and ribs. Today we're going to go fishing and have a great day. That's what we're going to do. It's L is the name of the channel that goes live after ours. Lelle. She's in the chat, I think, today. I think I saw her in here. All right. What else is going on? All right, you guys. Well, share this video. It only gets out if you guys share it. And this is a profound video. It's concrete evidence of foreknowledge. Some of the most concrete I think I've ever seen surrounding Trump and what happened with everything. So I would absolutely say this is a must-see video. So it's up to you guys to share it, because YouTube's not sharing it for us. It's not doing its job. The algorithms. Sometimes it's as simple as, if you're in someone else's chat, say, hey, everybody, check out Enterthestars' video he did on Trump, the lady singing Trump in a Fringe episode. I don't know. That's the only way this channel is going to grow, is on other truth channels. And I allow that on my channel, as long as it's not excessive. You're allowed to kind of come in here into the chat and, say, hey guys, check out such and such channel, as long as it's not spamming. I allow that on my channel, and that helps other channels grow too, right? So that's what you guys can do. We already know that our friends and family are probably not going to like this information, but you got to remember, 90% of the truth community does not come to this channel, and there's a lot of people that go to other channels that aren't here. So those are the people that can come here and learn a little bit more, and maybe when the decision comes in their life to either vote for Trump or vote for Biden, they'll realize it's all a big clown show, and that will be the part that you played in helping to wake people up and believing in Jesus Christ and not men who rule this world. So, all right, you guys, I love you, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, everyone.